Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of our Torchwood reaction. This is Red Live, and my name is Matt. And we're getting close to the end. There's only 2 episodes left. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then that means that the final episode is on Patreon, if you want to check that out. But what happened on Torchwood? And this is the end of Torchwood, by the way. It's not only the end of this weird American arc where people are unexplainably immortal. No. This is the end of Torchwood. That's it. There's no more. So, fuck, man. But, okay. Last time on Torchwood, what happened? Jack got shot and he is dying. I forgot to search for the episode, sorry. But, yes, that's what happened at the end. Esther disappeared with him, but she doesn't know what to do. That's kind of where the episode ended. Rex stayed behind with the CIA dude. What's this fucking Shapiro? Yeah, that guy just barged in and he's kind of an ass. Julie Kitzinger and Oswald Danes split up because Oswald Danes is just like, oh shit, they're gonna try and kill me, and he just fucking ran away. Julie Kitzinger was then hired by the family. We learned that the woman, the other lady, working at the CIA, she's also part of the family. Then, okay, so we met up with fucking Angelo Colasanto, and then he died after Jack kissed him, and apparently, there was this nullification field he was laying on top of, which made it so he wasn't immortal. It's not that he was more he wasn't immortal, which means that when he died, it was essentially he just died of natural causes after he got to kiss Jack, or because Jack just pulled his machinery away from him. Either or, he died because of it, not necessarily because of the kiss. So then by using the machinery that nullify the immortality field or whatever, Jack is like, okay, this is super high-tech alien tech. We cannot let it fall onto the CIA's hands or any human thing. So I need to go. I need to disappear with this thing, so we need to get out. And that's what led into Jack getting shot and Esther running away with him. Rex stayed behind. He's gonna play for the CIA dude, at least. Play. Not necessarily work under his orders. He's just kind of double agent for us. Gwen was deported. She's on her way back to Cardiff, I suppose. And that's weird because that means that Jack and Gwen are not going to have their finale together. At least I don't think they will. So that's weird. And that's pretty much what happened last episode, yeah. So, okay. Also, we did learn about the family. We were given names, but those names probably don't matter anymore. It's 3 families, which are the 3 dudes that look at Jack and they were like, okay, look, we're gonna own him because he's immortal, so let's capitalize on that. And that somehow led to people becoming immortal years in the future. Yeah, we still don't know how that connects, so maybe we'll learn about it this episode. Because last episode I said, okay, so there are 2 episodes left, this one and then the final one. And to me, that means that this one is probably going to be the one where there's a lot of revelations and conflict. And the next one is when there's going to be conflict and resolution. I assume that that's how this will go. So, yeah, I'm excited to jump into this one because I feel like this has to be the revelations episode. So, we're finally going to learn what the fuck is happening. I'm excited. Let's jump into it. So, Torchwood. Let's fucking go, baby. Okay, everything ready, everything working fine. By the way, my power is unstable. If you see the lights flickering, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. And if at some point there's a weird jump, it's because the power just straight up died on me. So, just know that. Because I meant to record this morning, and I couldn't. Because of that. So now, I'm hoping it won't happen again, but we'll see. But yes, let's just jump into this episode. So, Torchwood, Miracle Day, Season 4, Episode 9. Let's go. 2 months late. Oh, shit! Okay, I was not expecting that. Oh, it's Gwen! Let's fucking go. She's selling medical supplies, probably for her dad. Oh, pizza. I think it's the same fucking pizza that they used to order for Torchwood. The thing about her dad is that as soon as the miracle stops, he'll just die because he's not getting any better.
It's almost gone.
Okay.
Yeah, the gunshot didn't kill me, but I think you will.
Okay, cool. Somehow they made it back. They made it to fucking Scotland.
They took your blood and they keep trying to spill your blood. Someone wants you dead for a reason. And I think this stuff's the only hope we've got.
Yeah, we don't know.
I was power cuts in the 70s. 9 months later, there was a baby boom.
Fucking risk. It doesn't work that way though for me, because there's always power cuts for us during the summer because our infrastructure sucks and we have over 40 degrees Celsius days every day. And the thing is that I think it's so hot that it's just gross, so nobody wants to do anything while that happens. So yeah, the power cuts don't even do that here for us. They're just annoying.
Published in 1935, The Devil Within. Now, it's just Pulp Fiction. It's all
Oh.
blood and Satan and all that kind of
Okay,
shit.
okay.
But
We're looking at
it makes
actual...
5 points of reference identical to the Harkness case, which is more than a coincidence. Now, I believe that the author was in that cellar. We have DNA. We can trace the family.
She's super concerned.
This is for you.
This is Lucy Staten Meredith.
You'll be traveling under that name. In fact, that is your name from now on.
Okay.
But
Till the kitchen's
families
dead.
wanna meet you in person.
The families want to meet you in person. So you're not a family? By the way, the Shanghai shit is when...
I'm rather jealous. They're taking you to the blessing.
Shit! What?
Thank you. We won't meet again.
That sounded ominous. She might be dead. Like, actually, for real.
I have reason to suspect you may be illegally harboring an unsupported Category 1 deceased person, and according to the Emergency Powers Act, reasonable suspicion is all I need.
How are they gonna do this? Do they have some kind of system? Oh, she's just in case? Just in case I'm ready to stab a bitch. Okay, they probably have some kind of fake wall. Rex? Let me double check that.
That's the short story? We have that on digital format, right?
Yeah, I think so, bye.
Great. Can you send it to me?
So the reason why they revealed last episode that she's part of the family is for this. So we can have this whole episode where it's just like her, we see from her perspective of she's trying to hide everything. But what's this?
Hello, mate.
Okay, it's not
Oh,
this.
you really? Just put it by the fridge. I'll sort it out in a minute.
Who is it?
Isn't she pretty? Are you eating that food, honey, or are you wearing it? Sweet.
Why are you here?
Been told that you have certain information that I need.
Why are you
I
here?
apologize for the subterfuge, but I do happen to have the most recognizable face on the planet.
Not anymore.
This figure is this man's face.
Stop it. Stop it. Hush now. Come on.
Why is he here?
We don't want you arrested for murder.
Thank you, sir.
They can arrest me for that.
Oh! What does he want? He's gonna be your quest giver.
Jack Harkness, I have the name of the man who created the miracle.
Okay.
Every move we make, we get blocked. Yeah, well, I wish it were me. And you could shoot me and I could sleep. Yeah, I'd like that very much, sir. 46 were pronounced similarities scattered all across the world. Look at this. 22 in the U.S., 9 in the UK, 1 in Sweden. We've got Argentina, Germany, Japan. And
Argentina. Why Argentina though?
Listen.
Like, what would write in English in Argentina? Okay, he's the guy who's taking photos.
How did you get this number?
Look, whoever you're working for is Jack Harkness that after, so you're wasting your time. You wouldn't turn up here in a month of Sundays, so why not just take the night off?
Do you think we're stupid?
Yeah. Now drink this. Won't harm you. You've had it before.
It's true. I made you drink it.
Cool. They just rigged on him, and they already rigged on him before. Oh, that's wonderful. Now pass out. Cool.
At your trial, you said about that girl she should have run faster. Did you really say that?
Yes, I did.
And I meant it! This fucking dude.
And in my crate over there, I have Miss Kitchenger's laptop.
Oh.
Is that it?
Here's a funny thing. Yesterday at 12 midday, she disappeared. Her entire profile online vanished. Jilly Kitzinger, cease to exist. One man's name keeps reoccurring. Kissinger was employed to send him information. And his name's Harry Bosco.
Harry Bosco.
His name, over and over again.
Harry Bosco isn't a man. Harry Bosco's a process. It goes back to Vietnam. It was the first war to be televised, and the government didn't want U.S. networks taking feed directly from the Vietnamese, because for the first time, information was beyond their control. So they put agents in every newsroom, every major TV network, filtering the output for the public.
And the name given to those people.
Called Harry Bosco. He'd alter information. It was subtle. He did it by mistranslation. He couldn't censor or change, but he could manipulate the English translation. Change one word, change the entire meaning. You say victims instead of bodies, you influence public opinion. All the channels Harry Bosco these days.
Kissinger works in PR. Why would she be handling this Harry Bosco process?
To be fair, it's a good question. Why would the families hire Julie to do all this in the first place?
What's she translating?
What's she mistranslating? Because the three families changed their name, now Julie's changing words? Three layers of language. It's in the local Wu dialect, dubbed into Mandarin, and then she sent it out for English subtitles. How are we supposed to know what's wrong or right?
Oh, we're calling in the Rex.
We need you to write history.
Sure.
I could do that.
Daring. I'm gonna need you to elaborate.
When we're ready, you'll be taken to the blessing.
Okay.
I hope you survive.
Sorry. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
When people die, the blessing, it kills them.
Sorry for my mother, I'm so ashamed, but it's a constant that my life was saved.
This is pre-miracle. He died 2 days later, but he went crazy, burned down a hospital, got caught in his own fire. This guy should win the Darwin Award.
The English isn't godsend. The actual
It's a
phrase
blessing.
is, it's a blessing. My life was saved.
Blessing.
Listen.
Doesn't mean anything. We'd all say that. He survived a fire.
Hold on. Would somebody shut the husband up, please? Original Wu dialect is different.
Okay.
Ready for this? He didn't say it's a blessing my life was saved. He said the blessing saved my life.
There we go.
The Mandarin says medical facility, but I looked at the address. It was a blood bank.
Blood again.
Okay.
There's a second blood bank in Buenos Aires.
Argentina? Yo, is the blessing in Argentina?
Wait a minute, I had Argentina right there.
Let's go.
John Forrester died age 76.
That's not a Spanish name. In La Boca? Really?
That man said miracle in Shanghai, yes?
Why'd they burn down a blood bank in Buenos Aires? I mean, why burn
Because
down
Jack's
a
blood
bank?
was in it,
We don't
maybe.
even know what the blessing is. Maybe it's some sort of ritual. Maybe it happens in both cities at once.
Are they in the same... in the glove? Shanghai, like... Is Shanghai, like, completely, like... on the other side with Buenos Aires? This fucking dude.
Brand new app. Thermal imaging.
Oh shit. This fucking guy couldn't let it go.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Feel him. He's still warm. He's warm. Feel him.
Not as warm as he's going to be.
Why would you say that? That's such a heartless thing to say.
My duty to take him from this place and deliver him unto safekeeping until such time as he can be disposed of according to the laws of the land.
Why are you such an asshole? Why is he such a heartless bastard? That's like way more evil than anything else we've ever seen in this show. This man is tearing people's houses down.
Sorry for your loss.
Shut up, you're not! Not as warm as he's gonna be. Shut the fuck up, dude! That guy could not be more heartless than that. Tearing people's houses down, just being like, according to the rules of the land, we need to burn down your father who's still alive. And I'm gonna make a snarky remark as I do that. I'm sorry for your loss though. Fuck off, man. I'm not sad, I'm just upset.
What do you want to do?
I'm just straight up upset. Let's go to
I don't
Shanghai.
care if we have to walk. I will travel the whole bloody world to put this right, Jack.
What did Riz just figure out? Is Argentina exactly on the other side of the globe to compared to Shanghai? Is it like a line that goes throughout the planet from Shanghai to Buenos Aires? Buenos Aires, Shanghai. No, I don't care about a flight. It's a line that goes from one to the other. I did not think Buenos Aires, Argentina would become a thing. Yes.
Mercedes? Shanghai.
Yeah.
Opposite sides of the world, quite
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
opposite sides of the earth.
Please tell me that Torchwood is gonna go Buenos Aires. Yeah, it's a perfect line.
They're the antipodes of each other.
Antipodes, that's the word. I think we're gonna go to Shanghai, but I would love to go to Buenos Aires. Captain Jack Harness walking through La Boca.
We can get into Argentina, no problem.
Let's
You
go!
need to get into both, Jack. Maybe you should go one way.
And you the other.
Buenos Aires.
Shanghai.
So is this what we're doing? I miss you.
Esther is going to Buenos Aires. Let's go! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
And you're taking me with you.
No worries.
No.
I'm not taking the pedophile to Buenos Aires, dude.
I know all about your little plans.
Yeah, he knows everything now. Fuck!
You and me. Well, that's just it. You joyous man. You've just trapped your wife completely. You think you would? Your husband would kill me.
He would.
Category 1 with his own bare hands.
He would. We all know he would. I hate useful things. What a fucking asshole. Shanghai? Please tell me we're actually going to Buenos Aires. I don't live in Buenos Aires. I live in Chaco, a different province to the north. But I've been to Buenos Aires a couple times. And I know enough about it. Esther en Buenos Aires. Llegadas internacionales. Yes. Rex is in there. Let's go. Okay, that's a little weird. Like looking at the people, being like, okay, who looks like they're from Argentina? You super track them down. I'm worried, but I'm excited. Triangle people. Is this like the same alleyway the dude was coming in like a couple episodes ago when he was investigated that like missing thing that Ficor Ohm like decades back? That dude eventually ended up killing himself. So some people don't survive the miracle, the blessing. That's probably what they meant. I cannot believe Argentina hosts a side of the blessing.
And it's a living thing? We have no idea.
Okay.
But certainly the blessing sends some sort of impact back at the onlooker.
Okay. So it's not really man-made or the families or whatever. It's something that they're using. They're channeling. God, we're approaching the end of episode. God damn it, this episode is going to be a cliffhanger where we see the blessing, but it's not going to solve anything.
Every time that person was hiding something vile. Isn't that wonderful? I wonder what you'll see.
Oh, is it person specific? Okay, what are we doing? What are we walking into? Just a big glowing orb or some shit? Big ass alien like a Cthulhu creature? What are we doing? The fuck am I looking at? That looks rad. Does that go to the center of the earth?
Right. All the way to the other side of the world.
To Buenos Aires, more specifically. Rex? Oh, it's hurting. The closer you get to it, maybe the more mortal you become.
We're in some kind of warehouse.
Danes. Oh, his blood is just straight up moving. Tell them! Jack Spock's is straight up being sucked into the void or whatever. Yeah? Is it specifically Jax's blood? Is Jack's blood trying to, like, get out of his body?
It's the blessing. It's somewhere over there.
Follow the trail of blood. Or follow the blood drop. Okay, Jack has to deal with it. Jack has something to deal with it. That's the end of the episode. Next time. Okay, sure. Yo, we're getting a final episode next time. Yo, the huge pop off. Who would have thought that the fucking huge pop off at the end of Torchwood would be like, yo, we're going to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Let's fucking go. Okay, I don't give a fuck about what we're doing. The only thing I care about right now is I want to know, and I think this might not be the case, but I want to know if they actually traveled to Buenos Aires, Argentina to record at least next episode. This episode had very non-distinct filming locations for the Buenos Aires scenes. So first one was an airport, and there was a Spanish sign on the airport, but there was also a black lady in the background. And the thing about Argentina is that I think I've seen 3 black persons in my entire life. There's not a lot of black people in Argentina. We have a lot of mestizos. We don't have black people. So when I saw that, I was like, that doesn't look like the kind of person you would randomly walk into in Argentina. And then a dude walked by, and I looked at him, and I was like, maybe maybe. Doesn't look like the most Argentinian dude ever, but he could be an Argentinian. Like, I'm looking at people in the background being like, are you Argentinian? Do you look Argentinian? Just a little bit. And it's just like, I'm not sure. I don't think so. So that didn't really tell me much. And then the next scene, we had a warehouse, a very non-distinct warehouse. And it was like, come on, show me a street. Just go out and show me buildings and I'll be able to be like, oh, that looks like Argentinian architecture. It's not even Argentinian architecture. It's like shitty European architecture. Like bootleg discount European architecture. That's what we have. Fucking shitty Italians that didn't have any money came in here and we're like, yeah, let's make that. Italians and the Spanish and yeah, mostly that. Mostly those two. But yeah, that, oh god, So I was like talking to a friend. I was like, yo, I didn't expect Torchwood pop-off at the end of Torchwood to be like, yo, we're going to Argentina. We're going to fucking Buenos Aires, bro. I wasn't expecting that at all. So that's fucking cool. And then I was like, I better see the fucking obelisco next episode. I got a picture of it right here. I better see this fucking thing next episode. I want this thing to show up next episode. I don't care if it's actually filmed in there. Just show me a picture of it. Just fucking show it to me in like a random stoke-ass footage. I hope that the fucking obelisco is a fucking conduit for, it's like an alien antenna that is fucking causing the blessing or whatever the fuck. I hope the obelisco was behind it all along. I hope that that's it. Jesus. Yo. That's the rightest shit ever. God, that's the actual Torchwood pop-off. And that applies exclusively to me. Who else gives a fuck about Torchwood going to Argentina? Who does? No one. Yo, if you're a fan of Torchwood and also Argentinian, leave a comment. Let me know. We can hang out. We can be friends. I actually don't live in Buenos Aires. So, yeah, they were talking about Buenos Aires being like one of the most populated cities in the world. Most populated cities. Let's see. How many most populated cities in the world? Let's look at them. Oh, let's look at the Wikipedia article. That's good. So, most populated cities. Wow, the first one is Tokyo. Holy shit, that's a lot of people in Tokyo. 37 million? In Tokyo? Singular. Okay. Then we have Delhi in India. God, yeah, that doesn't surprise me, but Tokyo won. I mean, I know there's a lot of people, but I wasn't expecting the most amount of people. Shanghai is third. That's a lot of people. Oh, Buenos Aires is in there. I didn't know that. So, Buenos Aires is number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, that's New York. What am I doing? 12, 13. 13. There we go. So, Buenos Aires is 13th most populated city in the world. I wasn't expecting that. It's at 15 million, essentially. Cool. Okay. I mean, I know Argentina is a big country, and I know that we have a decent amount of population. I wasn't expecting it to be that massive, though. But yeah, we're number 13 in the world. Just a little bit under New York. Huh. Wow, Japan has Osaka, too. Osaka is like number 10. Wow, Japan has a lot of people in it. Okay, so we're learning that the blessing is actually like a specific point. And it's like a specific point that goes through the planet, connected to densely populated cities in the world. Shanghai, which is number 3 in the world, and Argentina, Buenos Aires, the city, which is number 13 in the world. Okay, I really want them to go to Buenos Aires. I really want, like, I actually went to the fucking wiki, like, TARDIS wiki entry on this episode, The Gathering. And I just went to filming locations. And then I clicked on it and I was like, I'm gonna know. And then it was like, information to be added later. When? This episode came out in 2000. This episode is 10 years old. When are you gonna add the filming locations to this episode? And they didn't. So I suppose I'm not gonna know until I see it next episode. Because I also don't want to like look into next episode and where it's filmed because I'm afraid of spoilers. And it's the fucking end of Torchwood. I'm not gonna Google that shit, man. But like, I really want, and like, I'm setting myself up for disappointing here because I don't think fucking BBC Stars and they were like, yeah, let's send this 2 characters to Shanghai and 4. Let's send these other 2 characters to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Like Shanghai, I can believe. Shanghai kind of matters. Shanghai is a decent place. Who gives a fuck about Buenos Aires, Argentina? Let's be honest. There's like nothing to do in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Honestly, it's just a city. It's just an urban area city shit. And there's nothing else to do. And it's a shitty city at that. Because Argentina is not a good country. Oh, God. So, I don't think they actually travel there. If they did, I would be super happy. And, like, the one thing that they can show is the obelisco. And I hope that that is actually, like, an alien antenna. That would be the funniest shit ever. If RTD was in his fucking writing room and he was just hanging out with someone else and he looked at, like, a TV and there was, like, a World Cup match going on between fucking, I don't know, Wales and if there's some UK country and Argentina, and they were like, yo, Argentina, those guys really like soccer, huh? What are we doing? Is there something cool in Argentina? And they just Google Argentina cool shit, and they saw the obelisco first, and they were like, yo, that looks like some alien bullshit. Huh, I have an idea for this. And then they just moved on from there. That would be fucking funny. I'm setting myself up a disappointment here, but let me do the fucking Torchwood Argentina fanfic in my head, because that's fucking funny. The only bad thing is that Jack is not actually, or Gwen, are setting foot in Argentina. It's Esther and Rex, which I'm like, okay, fine. I'll take the other two characters that I kind of like to set foot in Argentina. Quote unquote Argentina. It's not actually, because I don't think it's filmed there, but maybe it will. Who knows? God, that's great. I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm super happy. About that. I was not expecting that at the end of Torchwood, right at the end, we would be like, yo, you know where it all began? In Argentina, Buenos Aires. Like, the only thing that would be, like, even dumber, that I would love even more, is if I'm setting on my second light, by the way, because I forgot to do that just now, because I had, like, a little bit of a break in between the episode and the review. But yeah, the only thing that would have made it, like, even more tailored for me is if, first of all, it was actually Argentina, like, they were filming there, which it still could be the case, I suppose. But if it was, instead of just Argentina, Buenos Aires, it would have been fucking Chaco, Resistencia Chaco. There's no reason for anyone to give a fuck about Resistencia Chaco, which is the place where I live. But wouldn't it be cool, though? There's, like, literally nothing to do in Resistencia Chaco, by the way. We have nothing. We have a bunch of sculptures just around the city. That's kind of it. That sucks. But fucking Rose. Fucking Buenos Aires. Let's go. I'm happy about that. Also, I got to hear Welsh people pronounce the words Buenos Aires. That was funny. It was a weird way of saying it, but sure. Yo, nobody told me this. And I appreciate that. I don't know if it's because people just didn't think about it, people just didn't give a fuck about it, people just forgot about it, or they tried to, like, well, of course, people wouldn't tell me because of spoilers, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if nobody actually knew that I would have this pop-off. But I am. I'm having a great time here. Because, like, I talked about this with, like, a friend of mine, because they were watching Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, and they were talking to me, and they were like, yo, this show just went to Alberta, Canada, and I'm just like, what? And my friend is from Canada. They're not from Alberta, but they're from Canada. And then they're Googling Alberta Gundam, and they're seeing the comparisons from the show to the actual city, and it's like 1-to-1 the same thing. And that's really funny, and we're just freaking out over the fact that some of our favorite shows just sometimes go, like, right near us, and that's cool. Because, like, that must be a feeling that, like, everybody gets if you live in, like, New York, or you live in, like, Washington, D.C. Like, you live in some of these areas that, like, you just are very common in Hollywood and media in general. Like, I'm assuming if you live in fucking Akihabara, you have a field day playing, like, every Japanese or JRPG that comes out of fucking Japan. Or Tokyo or Osaka. God, I've been playing Yakuza Kiwami 2 recently, and in that game you hang out in Kamurocho and Sotenbori, which are replications of the real life districts Kabukicho and Dotonbori in Japan, and I want to go there. I want to go to fucking Dotonbori and be like, yo, that's the wall bridge. That's the bridge I kick people off and they die drowning. And there was a one time where I went into the fucking river, and then the fucking boat turned into an elevator and went downstairs underground into an underground fighting arena where people just kill each other. And I'm just like, yo, the Yakuza franchise is fucking stupid, but it's really fun. I want to go to those places in Japan because I would just consistently point at things and be like, yo, that's where I did that thing in the video game. Man, shit. God, can you imagine the actual obelisk was actually like some alien bullshit like Torchwood Tower? Because Torchwood Tower had the fucking the rift with the, what was the rift like? Was it about like the Gelt or some shit, like the ghosts? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer to the blessing. It's actually the ghosts. But no, what if it's like an actual alien antenna in the obelisco? What if the Gelt are in the obelisco? Yo, I saw Torchwood right there. You saw Torchwood right there. The Gelt are in the obelisco. That's the answer. Well, it's not because Torchwood Tower, the rift doesn't actually have to do with anything. Like, we didn't blow up the rift, did we? We blew up like the facility, but I don't think that affects the rift in any way. So yeah, it's not that, because yeah, it's not the rift, because we would have to have two other rifts in like Shanghai and Buenos Aires. It's not that. But like, okay, what is actually there? It's like an opening to the other side of the planet, and there's like shit going into it. But like, what was confusing to me is that like they were talking about it as if Jilly Kitchener was the only one able to see that. Like, what we saw was only Jilly Kitchener's perception of it, and it's different for every individual. Or maybe it's not that. We see it as what it is, but the feeling it evokes in you is specific to every individual. And Jilly Kitchener was like, it proves that I was right. And I'm just like, okay. Jilly Kitchener is very ambitious and daring person. So, like, that character's pretty good. Because, like, the fact that character was just a random, just nobody that showed up. And she was like super hard trying to get in there. She was just like, here's my car, call me. And it's like, yeah, but like, I'm not interested. And she was like, well, you never know. And she's just like forcing her way into everything because she's trying to survive. She's trying to do a good job or whatever. And even the way she behaves, she's just like, anyway, like very like, how do I explain it? But it really gives you the feeling that this is a character that is just like getting by, right? It's just like a small person in the small world. And somehow she found herself at the center of this shit. And for some reason, she has been, like, chosen or whatever to go meet the blessing to write history? What was the fuck that dude said? That dude that looked like Bernie Burns? Like, write history. What does that mean? Is Jilly Kitchener going to be able to fucking rewrite the entire history of the human race by walking into the blessing or some shit? Like, what the fuck? Sure, what are we doing? So, yeah, that. I don't know what the deal is with that. But that is clearly like the Shanghai shit that we saw episodes earlier when the FICOR CEO or whatever called like a FICOR branch in Shanghai. I was like, yo, you go and check out this building that apparently we had since like decades ago. And the dude went and was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then he called and he was like, I found nothing. Anyway, goodbye. And then he just killed himself. And we never followed through on that. So since that moment, it's been like, okay, there's something going on weird in Shanghai, China. So it's like, okay, sure. Now we finally go there. Who gives a shit about Shanghai though? We're going to Buenos Aires. We're to fucking Buenos Aires, baby. So like when the first time when they mentioned it, they were like, yeah, some dude died in Buenos Aires, Argentina, fucking La Boca. And I'm just like, okay, cool, that's fun. And then it's like, no, actually, we're actually going there. That's actually this origin point with Shanghai. And I'm just like, yo, I was not expecting that. Also, the fact that they specifically mentioned La Boca makes me think that it's like a football thing. Like, that's where they got their ideas, or maybe not. Because La Boca is... I'm pretty sure La Boca is the home neighborhood for Boca Juniors. Right? Yeah. Boca is best known for being home to the world-renowned football club Boca Juniors. Yeah, my dad was a big Boca Juniors fan. I suppose it still is. And I suppose I was when I was a kid because I didn't know any better. When you grow up in Argentina, you are instantly a sports fan. That because you are conditioned to be one. And then you grow out of it if you want, or if you don't, then you don't. That's it. I grew out of it because I kind of never cared. Sure. La Boca is a neighborhood or barrio in the Argentine capital, Buenos Aires. It retains a strong Italian flavor, with many of its early settlers being from the city of Genoa. We do have a lot of Italian people in Argentina, like originally. Argentina is this weird country because it's a mixture of like a bunch of like Latin-based European settlers. So of course the Spanish came in, and like Argentina was born, and then like a bunch of other European Latin-based settlers came in, like Italians. We got some French, probably a little bit, not as much, and the German too. Like especially during the wars, a lot of people came to Argentina from the wars because they were like, "Yo, I hear that country is kind of big and it's kind of cool. Maybe there's some nice sightseeing to do there," and there is. And of course, there's like a bunch of like little communities of those immigrants too. So you can hang out with the people that have your same background and you can bond over there. So that's kind of how Argentina and Buenos Aires was actually made. That also means that, like I said earlier, Argentina doesn't have a lot of black people in it because like most people that came by were just white Europeans, and that's mostly what we have. We started to get a bunch of Chinese people like in the recent decades. We have a lot of like Chinese like convenience stores. We have a lot of those, but still no black people in Argentina, huh? Like I've seen like I legitimately have seen only like 3 black people in my entire lifetime in 24 years, and like they weren't like American black. They were like African black. They were wearing like traditional clothing and everything, and I'm just like, yo, that guy looks rad. And that's it. Like 2 or 3 people tops, and 2 of those might have been at the same time. I don't remember, but like we don't have a lot of that, which is why when I saw that lady in the background, I was like, that doesn't look like something we would have here. Like Argentinians, I feel like whenever I see someone that is Argentinian, I'm like, yeah, that guy looks Argentinian. Like I can totally just see it. It's like this mixture of genetics that make this Argentinian like feature from like Buenos Aires. I don't have those features, by the way. I don't, because I don't have a lot of like European descent in me. Do I? I think I do a little bit, but not a lot. But Buenos Aires people, I'm not from Buenos Aires, but Buenos Aires people do have that a lot. My dad is from Misiones, with a weird mixture with Paraguay, which is another country, and my mom is from here. She's a country chick from Chaco, from the northern of Argentina. So I don't really have a lot of Buenos Aires in me. And Buenos Aires is mostly the like European settling stuff. So if you look at people from there, or maybe from Cordoba even, which is, I think it's like, is it like the 2nd largest city in Argentina, Cordoba? Let me look at it. I have a friend from Cordoba, and she looks very Argentinian. She has all the features and everything. The 2nd most populated city in Argentina after Buenos Aires. Yeah. So a bunch of European folks went and lived in Cordoba. So Cordoba also has all those features, but I don't. I suck. But yeah. God, I'm just making I'm just fucking telling a geography social lesson in Argentina, aren't I? Okay, let's go back to Torchwood. I'm sorry about that huge derail into... We've been recording for 20 minutes. Oh my god, what am I doing? So, let's go back to Torchwood. So, 2 months later. That was cool. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting a 2 months later time skip. So, Gwen is in Wales. She's trying to get by with Riz and saving her dad and fucking... saving her mom as well, and cool, they're getting by, and Gwen just steals cars, runs them into fucking shops, steals medicine, and then sells it, and that's how they get by. And they're talking about it, how like a couple episodes ago they were like so opposed to like the burning camps or whatever, and they still are. They don't like them, but at this point they can't fight back to it because like the world is falling apart. So they just have to like accept it, and they're just trying to get by. They're just trying to survive, which is like this wrestling where he was like, I have to like I have to like get this job where I'll drive people into camps, category ones into camps, and it's like, well, can't be helped. We have to live. So that kind of sucks. And I like this, like, it's not post-apocalyptic, but it's like okay, so apocalyptic settings in media are kind of overdone at this point. But what it's not overdone is the process of society falling, right? Like, we can get post-apocalyptic any day, but what it's actually like much more interesting, I think, is the process of society falling to pieces. So the setting for this episode I enjoy a lot because it's like 2 months later, everything's fucked. Society is just fucking fucked. And we didn't get to see it very much, but we got the vibe of it. We got the gist of it. And that was enough. We can do maybe a little more next episode, but I don't think we'll do that. I think next episode is just going to be packed with fucking resolution and conflict. Because it has to, right? So, okay, Oswald Dane just comes in here, and wants to see Gwen, and was like, okay, get me Jack here, because Oswald Dane for some reason managed to get sources that told him that Gwen and Riz smuggled Jack into the UK and they're hanging out in Scotland safely. I thought they didn't meet each other, but I suppose they did, and she helped them get in here. And Oswald Dane says like, get me to Jack Harness. I want to do like an exchange of information or whatever. So I suppose Oswald Dane just wants to die at this point, because like we talked about it before, and like why would he do any of this? And I suppose his ultimate goal is that he just wants the miracle to end so he can just die. So probably that. Like not burn alive. Does he want to die? Because if he goes back, then he will die if he goes back to the society. So what does he want to do? Whatever, he's helping the crew, and he wants to go with them. There might be a reason why he went with them too. What is Oswald Dane wants to do? What is his ultimate goal? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we have that with him. And then when call Jack and Esther in so they can like interrogate Oswald, and so they're interrogating him. And Oswald is like, okay, so he tells them about the laptop Julie Kipsinger and everything. And he was like, she ceased to exist and some shit happened. And then he mentioned the name Harry Bosco. And I'm going to look this up because this is interesting. Is it real? Harry Bosco. Okay, no, I get a TARDIS wiki first result, so it's probably not that. But they're talking about Harry Bosco as if it was an actual process. Because it's something that you do when you want to alter information by giving like little nudges in the translation of things in order to alter public perception information. And it's a fantastic thing to talk about because it's real and I hate it. Like, whenever you want to translate something, you want to be as accurate to the source thing as possible. Like, retain the meaning of it. And if you don't, you have to think about what will be the perception of it. And the thing is that like media and politicians and everything are able to use that and use those factors and actually use them for bad and manipulate people with them. And that's what they're talking about. The fact that they're Harry Boscoing shit. So then he explains that Jillian Kissinger was involved in that. So then they track her and they track this thing that she Harry Boscoed, which is this thing with a man speaking on a Wu language and then translated to Shanghai or like Mandarin. I think it was Wu and then Mandarin and then English. And then there was one in Spanish too, which is where they got to Buenos Aires, I suppose. I wanted to see the Spanish translation. I really wanted to see that. What would it have been like? It would have been the line was, it was the godsend that saved us or some shit like that. So it would have been like, no. Gracias a Dios que sobrevivimos. Gracias a Dios que estoy bien o algo así. Something like, sorry, I forgot the switch. Or something like that. And when the actual line would have been, La bendición nos salvó. Something like that. The blessing saved us. Yeah, that sounds like it. So, yeah, anyway, so, okay, we have Oswald Ains, he's a quest giver, he visits the lead, and then we go to Shanghai and Buenos Aires after Riz finds out that there are like center points you can like drop in from one to the other. I forgot the name of it, but there are points that connect from one to the other, and that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that, but that's really cool. So that's what we're doing. Then we go there, and then we'll see next episode what happens. Jack is still injured. Rex is still injured to a degree. Jax's blood is being sucked by the blessing. Like, what the fuck? So no wonder like Jack is hurting, because maybe his entire like body, like the insides, his blood is just trying to like go out of his body. So that's why he's bleeding so much, probably. So yeah, maybe the closer we get to it, the stronger the pull will be, which was gonna suck even harder. So yeah, we have that. The fact that Rex used Pulp Fiction stories in order to actually find out about a lead, that was pretty cool. I like that. But like, how would he cross-reference to like someone in Argentina? That's what I want to know. Because it would have to be someone that someone wrote in English. Because if you translate it, then all the like things that coincide disappear. So it would have to be something in English in order for that comparison to make sense. But if it's in Argentina, then it probably is Spanish. Who fucking speaks English in Argentina? I mean, yes, people speak English in Argentina, but like this was even back in the days, so like not a lot of people knew that. So yes, that was one thing that confused me. What else are we doing? What else happened in the episode? Is that pretty much it? Is that it for what happened in the episode? Yeah, kinda. So what is the deal with the fucking... Yeah, like what is the deal with the actual blessing? Like what is it? It's like this, like an injury in the world. It's like open and it goes all the way there and it's sucking things in. Is it trying to suck Jax's blood in? I mean, yeah, but like, is it trying to go to the actual center of the earth? Then what is it? What sort of alien bullshit is it? Like, I really don't know. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what else to talk about. They're talking about the closer you get to it, the more like you feel like shit you feel. Like it actually feels worse to you. Okay, let me look at the airport scene with Esther and fucking Rex. Let me look at it. See if I can pierce something from that. So it says Llegadas Internacionales. That's Spanish, yes. This is supposedly Buenos Aires, Argentina. To the side, it says Llegadas. So that's also Spanish. There's two signs in Spanish. I'm looking at people. There's not a lot of blonde people, which is accurate. There is a black lady though. But also, this is an airport, so... If you... Oh, there's another sign in the background, but it's blurry. I can't read it. Oh, man. I mean, they could have just brought extras in from... I mean, that would have to do a lot of traveling, though. For the random, like, one episode shit in Argentina. I don't think they do that. And that's it for the airport scene. We don't get to see a lot. And the next one is a warehouse, so you can't grasp anything from there. What is the thing that Jill gets interested? Okay, so the woman said something in the elevator. She said, the mysterious blonde woman. I don't know what she is, but she talked to Jill Kissinger. She said, as some people look upon the blessing and end their lives, there's a brilliant truth about that, because each and every time that person was hiding something vile. Isn't that wonderful? It's exhilarating, the damage it does. I wonder what you'll see. So if you see the blessing and you have a shitty secret or something, if you're a bad person, then you'll kill yourself. But if you don't, then you're cool, I suppose. So Jelly sees it, and when they say it proves that I was right, does it mean that Jelly is like, yes, it proves that I'm doing the right thing. I'm a good person. I'm doing good things. What does the blessing tell you about yourself? That I'm right? And she starts smiling. So does it tell her that she's like wonderful, that she's good, like it fits into her ego? How far down does it go to the center of the planet? Yeah. Well, yeah, to the other side of the world, to Buenos Aires more specifically. So yeah, that. God, I hope this is like underneath the obelisco. I hope that that's the case. That would make me so happy. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Torchwood. Bro, the Argentinian pop-up is real. So, okay, if you want to watch the next episode, which is the finale for Torchwood, I should already be up on Patreon. Full length for everything as well. And after we're done with Torchwood, I said this before, I'm going to remind people, we're going to be started with Good Omens, which is only a couple episodes long, and then I'll do a poll in order to figure out what show I'm going to be watching next. But yes, thank you for hanging out here and watching this episode. Yeah. Oh yeah, I should do the outro. Okay. Alright everyone, thanks for watching this reaction episode to Torchwood. If you would like to see next one already, it should be up on Patreon, as well as full length. Check out the links in the description for that, as well as social media, everything else, and I'll see you next time. Okay everyone, take care, goodbye.